All right, so let's get out of here real quick, and I'm just gonna, go over some things that we are gonna be doing and what has happened to this truck, basically. So let's start off with the Raptor. Not too long ago, I got a check engine light, and so what I did was I took it to O'Reilly so they can, plug it in and just figure out what's going on. So once the guy did that, he plugged it in, and he was telling me that I really don't know. I'm not a mechanic, but banks 1 and 2, whatever the heck that means, was not working properly. But so in other words, it was the O2 sensors, and I got to looking, and I was like, well, okay, I don't really think that it can. Well, I'm sure it can throw up a code, but I just didn't know what to do. So I was like, you know what? Let's see how much it costs, and I got the results, and it was like, I don't know, like $300 or $400, and I was like, you know what? I was, gonna purchase it, just to get rid of it, but I was like, you know what? It's not gonna affect anything, so let me drive it for a little while and just look up on, online, see if I can get a better price. So I did, and thankfully, a good friend of mine, and he knows who he is, he recommended me to go to Rock Auto, and definitely check out that website. It is freaking awesome. Prices are great. So I ended up paying $169 or $170 for all 4 sensors. And if you're not familiar with that, is basically the O2 sensor. I'm not going to get under here because it's, the gravel is going to hurt. So basically the O2 sensor is located, so I have, it's a V8, so we got your, your headers on this side, or your manifolds this side, one over here and one over here. And you have 2 catalytic converters, as usual. So one O2 sensor is before the catalytic converter, and then the one, there's one on the catalytic itself. So you have 2 here, and you're gonna have 2 over here. And I'll show you the product number. I'll throw it up on the screen. So if you have a a Raptor, or I think it'll also work on a F-150 with the 5. What is it? I think is it the 5.0? I don't really remember. I don't remember what year engine or model was the F-150. But if you have an F-150, I'm pretty sure you have 4 of them. And I'll throw up the number. It may differ a little bit, but for the most part, it should be the same. So I'm getting that. I ordered that yesterday. Today's Saturday, Friday, yeah. And they should be coming in Wednesday. That's what they always say. And I'm gonna, just take care of this first, because this truck, has a lot of miles, and it has to be babied a little bit more than all the other cars. The cars are pretty, they're fairly new. Not new, but they don't have as much miles per se. So I'm really focusing on this truck, and that's why I'm making so much videos on this thing, because little things here and there actually do add up, and I don't want it to, ruin or just get worse. That being said, there's another thing that really is kicking my butt, and that is the shocks. Unfortunately, my shocks are worn out. And instead of purchasing all 4 shocks, which I am not going to do, I'm not going to drop, $2.5 grand to $4 grand on shocks. So there's a company out there I think it's called RPG. I don't remember, but I'll let you know once I do it. So what they do is that you take off your shocks, you send them out to, I think they're in California, if I'm not mistaken. California, Florida, one of the coast, I forgot. One of the states, is it Cali or Florida? One of those 2. So you send it out, you take it off with the springs, you unbolt them, send them the shocks, and then what they'll do is that they'll actually rebuild them. And I had no idea that Fox shocks could be rebuilt. So that's probably what I'm going to do. And to rebuild it, it's $500, and I think all the shipping and stuff is included. I'm not quite sure, but I have to dig in a little bit deeper. Just to make sure that I have an idea how much it'll cost. But it's $500. And then you can go from there. You can add, better seals, better bushings, I think. And I think they give you some other options, which I'm going to do, just to increase the life of these things and perform a little bit better. So that's one of the main things that I have to really focus on. I'm not quite sure when I'm going to do that, because, as things go, and, there's other things you have to take care of. But I'll do my best to get this out pretty soon. It is riding a little stiff. It's not as comfortable as it used to be, and which kind of sucks. When I got this truck certified pre-owned, and they're telling me that everything's good and blah blah blah, but I think that's, in pardon my language, because when I did the spark plug change, the oil change, it was all crap. The spark plugs were worn out. There was no electrode. oil change was dark as and pardon me, I'm getting a little pissed off, but the shocks are. So whenever you guys buying a used car, make sure you get under here, freaking check, especially on these freaking trucks. They're super expensive. They're not, you know, they're pricey. So just when you're purchasing something like this, just beware of, you know, yeah, they might have brand new seats, which I'm sure they typically do. They change them out to get you a better price, or, you know, to make it feel like it's brand new, but it's a bunch of bull crap. Make sure no trend fluid is leaking. You know, anything that touches oil or fluids, make sure that's not leaking. Anyways, I don't want to get off track here. But nonetheless, a Raptor, like I said, we're going to change out the freaking sensors, O2 sensors, all of them. And like I said, they were 170 bucks, and I'll throw up the product description up on the screen. And I think that's about it. That's my number one concern. As far as the shocks go, like I said, I'll do that a little bit later. And that's the Raptor. And for the Mustang, unfortunately, I couldn't take it out here because there's some bumps down there, and I don't want to, you know, ruin it. So the Mustang, I know I said I was gonna replace the front bumper, but you know what? I'm gonna change my mind. And you're gonna think I'm like smoking some weird stuff or think I'm crazy, but I'm gonna leave it like that. I know it sounds stupid, and you're thinking, what the heck, dude? You're an idiot. You know, you have a Mustang. It doesn't have any damage to it, but you know what? I kind of like it. I don't know, it kind of grew on me. Like I said, there's so much going on that I didn't have time to really focus on it. You know, trying to go into shop. I know I went to shops, but you know, that changes, obviously. It was like freaking 3 or 4 weeks ago. So, oh shit, I hope no one's here. Anyways, yeah, like I said, I'm gonna leave it like that, and I'm just gonna focus on just finishing it up. But like I said, I'm gonna focus more. I'm gonna have my attention more to this Raptor because it requires a little bit more love as opposed to the Mustang. The Mustang is great, so I'm not too worried about that. Going back to the Mustang, yeah, I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm not gonna touch it. I'm just gonna, you know, just leave it as is and just focus my money on, you know, finishing up the suspension, which is almost done. I just need to buy the 2 shocks and the springs, and I'm not gonna go too lowered on it just because, you know, I'm kind of dumb sometimes, and I'll probably, darn it, did I lose my cap right here? Son of a, oh well, whatever. Anyways, yeah, leave it like that and focus on it. So that's the Mustang, and I'm sorry for, you know, misleading you. I lied pretty much, but I didn't know I was gonna change my mind. So, see, that's the thing about these freaking cars. You know, you have something in mind, but something always comes up and just kind of changes your mind. But nevertheless, that is it. Mustang, Raptor, they're doing great. Just that, you know, little odds and ends that I got to button up and make it run a little bit more better. And in a minute, you know what? Since I'm out on this gravel road, and as you can see, nobody is here, I'm gonna do a little bit of burnouts, just have a little fun, you know. Hell, I haven't done anything fun in 3 or 4 weeks, like I said. But nevertheless, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. And with that, let's do some burnouts.